Happy Wednesday, Striver. It is mid-week, so it is time for a top-up of motivation for you. Today's topic is one of the classics, one of the greats in personal development, the topic of showing up. I'm going to get right into it today because I know it's Wednesday and you're here. You're already showing up to do personal development work, which is so key. Because just by logging into GrowthDay, you're raising your hand and you're saying, I want a better life. I'm willing to work for it. I love learning personal growth. I love staying inspired. I love using these tools or being part of coaching or a community that just makes me realize I'm not alone in wanting a better life. So good for you for being here. You already showed up. But clearly, in the last couple of years, there's been times for all of us when we didn't show up for our dreams. We didn't show up and practice good habits. We didn't show up when it was time to work hard. We didn't show up when we had a down day. We didn't show up when somebody needed us. What's up with that? Well, I always think it's a good midweek conversation, so let's get into it. 4 simple ideas about showing up. The first one, I always tell people, you don't have to keep up to show up. I tell athletes all this about this all the time. When you're starting out at the next level of athleticism, you don't have to be able to keep up with everybody who's already been in the pros for longer than you, as an example. You just got to keep showing up. You know, the greats, it's not that they were immediately greater than other people. It's that they tended to show up at more practices, show up at more games, show up more morning workouts, show up more consistently than other people. And then over a period of time, suddenly they were keeping up and then they were passing and excelling. But often in our non-athletic life, we forget that. Well, you know, she's a better communicator than me, so why even try? Well, you got to show up. Communicate, try, do the post, say the thing, raise your hand, pitch your idea, and you got to do it over and over and over and over again. And one day you're as good, or at least you're better than you were. You have to show up. You know, if you don't show up, then you're just leaving your personal growth and your competency to random reactions of life. You're letting life's randomness drive you. And in that way, if your growth is always tied to randomness, you'll always be caged in mediocrity. You gotta show up, even if you can't keep up. Second big thing I think is important is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect for yourself, I mean. The first idea here was you don't have to keep up to show up. That's about other people. This one is about you. Your expectations, how hard you are on yourself. You know, well, I don't want to try it because I won't like how I feel doing something I'm not competent at. I don't want to show up and try it because I don't want to feel inadequate. I don't want to show up and do it now because it won't be completely perfect, or I won't be completely ready, or it won't turn out the way I hope, and I'll feel discouraged. Often people who say they are perfectionist are truly just trapped in fear. They're actually not even following what they believe that they are. Because if they were a perfectionist, they would realize that the root term there is to perfect. And the only way to perfect something is to do it over and over and over again, even when it's not good, so that you work on it, and ultimately you continue perfecting it. A real perfectionist is someone who is actually doing the thing already. They did start. They didn't say, I'm fearful of starting because it's not perfect. They started sloppy as a hot mess, got in motion, got it going, and perfected it and improved it, iterated, tested, tried again, made it better, kept going, kept showing up. Third, this is important. If the first two, by the way, were don'ts. Don't feel like you have to keep up to show up, and don't feel like you have to be perfect. This was a do. So the third idea is do realize you need a habit and a schedule. You won't just suddenly feel like showing up to practice one day. You've got to schedule practice. You won't suddenly feel one day like writing the book. Well, maybe you will, but you won't feel it day after day after day. You got to schedule it. You won't feel like improving at the gym. You got to schedule it. You won't feel consistently like you're supposed to be a great leader. You got to schedule those meetings. Schedule that time to learn. Schedule that time to read books, listen to podcasts, talk with other leaders. You got to schedule it. Showing up cannot be left to random impulse. It must be something that is on the calendar. It lives in the schedule. Last idea for you today. If you want to really show up in life, you got to enlarge your vision, and you got to have a desire for an extraordinary life. People who show up consistently with real discipline, they want to be extraordinary. They've allowed themselves to even think that. They've allowed themselves to think, one day I can be a great communicator. I can be a great NFL player. I can be a great mom. They let themselves believe and work for it. You got to desire an extraordinary life. And the reality is many people don't show up because they're thinking too myopically. They're thinking about their past story. They're trapped in their past hurts. They're comparing themselves to everybody now. And they're completely blind to their future opportunities and the reality of just how far and how fast and how extraordinarily we can all grow. That's what we're doing here at GrowthDay. This isn't just some random daily fire for you. We are architecting a better future together. We are doing the work here. We are geeking out on personal development because we know it pays its dividends. We do this work because we know it changes the trajectory of our own potential and destiny. That this is taking life by its horns. This is taking the reins back. This is being the captain of the ship, whatever metaphor you want. This is doing the work. This is showing up. This is making self-improvement a way of life, because we know if we don't make it a way of life and we only do it once in a while, we'll be stuck. But that daily effort of showing up to fill out your journal, or to do this daily fire, or even just to write down your to-dos and your goals in the plan section, or even just to scroll the community for inspiring stories, or to consume the audiobook or the courses, all the stuff that we have here in GrowthDay, any touch point there is progress. You showed up. Keep doing it. Show up again and again and again. Tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day after that, because every day is a great day to grow. All right, if you love this daily fire today, quick reminder, comment on it down below. What did you learn? What do you think? What do you have to share? This is about social learning in GrowthDay. We learn from each other. We have that humility to learn from each other, but we also have that service leadership mindset where we want to share our life lessons with one another. So what have you learned about this topic? Put it in the comments down below and then get your growth streak.